So let's do a quick story time while I style my hair before my client comes. So this is my story about how I started my hair journey. So pretty much I always wanted to do hair ever since I was in like middle school, and I would cut and color my friends' hairs in the bathtub of my apartment growing up. And I kind of did this all throughout high school, and you know, I thought maybe I want to do a career in doing hair, but growing up we were pretty poor, so that was like out of the question to even consider doing hair or like being able to afford it. So I thought honestly about going into the army, which my parents were super against. So I wanted to do something in the beauty industry, obviously, and there was no way where I could be able to afford hair school. That was like $30,000. And so one day my stepmom was looking in a Korean newspaper and found out that there was a cosmetology school that was opening up literally right next to our apartment. And I was like, hell yeah, because I definitely want to do that. And my parents, like growing up, were pretty strict, so I wasn't really allowed to drive until much later. And I was working 3 jobs, but I had to walk to all 3 jobs, which I didn't mind at the time because, you know, you're young. And I had already graduated high school early because my parents thought that, you know, senior year wasn't anything important. Their intent was, you know, why not just get a head start and start making money. So I was able to walk to this cosmetology school, which was great, and it was right next to my other job that I worked at a restaurant, and so it was perfect. And I don't know if I should have seen it as a red flag that I was one of like the first students to sign up for this school, but I thought it was great because, you know, they give a lot of benefits, and they discounted our tuition and like give us a whole bunch of like tools and stuff that I can use. And there was a lot of like weird, like shady stuff happening. And when I first signed up, so the school was pretty much owned by a Korean family-owned business. And when I first signed up, the director was the dad, and then after like a couple months he decided to pass it on to his son, who was like not the greatest person. But pretty much what happened is, so cosmetology, there's like 2 parts. You do like textbook work, and then there's like a clinical side where you actually take walk-ins, and walk-ins have to pretty much sign a waiver saying that there's no guarantee of how your hair is going to come out. Like, you can't sue because we're students, and like you're pretty much guinea pigs because their haircuts were like $6-7. So the clinical teacher was something else. Oh my gosh, she was a very interesting lady, and she would do like shady stuff, like using perm solution on other people's head and like taking it when it like got caught in the bowl, take it into the back and then pour it back into the brand new bottles to reuse it. And I would call her out on it and pretty much just like fight with her every single day, until one day the director's son called me into the office and was like, we're gonna kick you out of school because you keep like stirring drama. And I was like, dude, like, I'm not stirring drama. This is disgusting and it's unsanitary, and you need to do something about it. But pretty much I got kicked out because he said that I'm a student and she was a teacher, and in the end, like, I was supposed to kind of like listen to what she was saying and what she was teaching us, and then that happened. So I got kicked out. So a few months later, I heard that the school shut down. I was still working at the restaurant, and I was working with one of my friends at the restaurant at the time, who also was in at the cosmetology school with me. And she had like applied for jobs and had gotten hired from 2 different salons. And so she was like, you know what, like, do you want to work at one of the places that I got hired, and like whatever. So I ended up working at this salon, which I was there for like 7 years, and I've learned so much through them. And when I first walked in there, they were like, literally forget everything that you learned in school, because I don't know what you learned. So that is my story about how I started to do hair, and now here I am. So on that note, I just want to say, always trust your judgment and speak up for what you think is right, and don't be afraid even though you're a student or not.